Welcome to SteamLUG Cast, Episode 8. My name is Cheese, and with me I have John Drinkwater.
Hello, everyone.
And Swordfisher returning up to us after a break. It's good to see you again.
Hello, and nice to be back, and thank you, Cheese.
How have you guys been over the past fortnight?
I could go back to sleep. Busy. Busy like last time. And I'm sure I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm pretty busy too, but I got some great stuff done, which I'm gonna talk about later, I guess.
Fantastic. So, moving on to community stuff. Our past events that we've had since our last episode, we had a Serious Sam 3 event.
Yeah, we played Jewel of the Nile.
Yeah, the DLC.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. First run through it. I think we had some issues with the last boss though, didn't we, John?
Just couldn't seem to defeat it on the first go.
Oh yeah.
Was it as convoluted as the final boss in the game
No.
itself? Because I remember that being really weird to work out.
It wasn't convoluted, it was just a massive bullet sponge that annihilated everyone. And in the game mode we were playing, we only had restricted lives, so...
Yeah, okay.
But I think we finished in the end, didn't we? I don't honestly recall.
Yeah, we did.
It was very close, though.
Unfortunately, I missed that one.
Well, we're probably gonna do one more at some point.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
The other big event that we've had very recently was our first Natural Selection 2 event, which I attended half of.
I believe it went fairly well. The game could do with a little bit of optimization. Loading into a game takes a few minutes because it's caching everything, but apart from that, games are pretty long. We had a good time. The server was only sort of half full, but that was all SteamLUG guys. And if you own the game, please do join next time we have an event. We're all rookies, so you'll have some fun.
How much is it?
It's 25, I think.
Euros?
No.
Oh. We are using different currencies, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's a reasonable price, but it's definitely got some legs on it.
Yeah, I'm just a cheapskate.
Well, you should have bought it when it was on special then. When they launched the Linux version, I think it was 75% off.
Yeah, and someone reminded me that Garry's Mod was off too, but the problem is I can't really control it when I buy games.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so I just end up with a lot of games I'm never gonna play anyway.
As far as upcoming events go, we have Guns of Icarus coming up.
Yeah, by popular request. I don't own the game myself, so I couldn't create the event. I don't know how people are going to do this.
Can Cheese not do it, I thought?
Yeah.
I set it up. I own it. I haven't played it yet though, so this is going to be my introduction.
Yeah.
Well, do tell us how it goes, Cheese.
For sure, and since so many people have requested this, we're kind of hoping that those people will invite their friends and that we'll have a nice big turnout for our first event. And if it goes well, we'll look at making it a regular thing.
Yeah, sure.
And later this month we also have a mystery event that we haven't announced the title for, but we'll be coming back to that later, so keep your eyes peeled.
We're not just trying to be awkward for the sake of it. We can't mention the game yet, so yeah.
But hopefully it'll be fun.
And if everything fails, we can just play, I don't know, TF2 or Left 4 Dead 2.
Always good fallbacks.
Yeah. Or we could play Secret of the Magic Crystal.
I'd rather like if we played Dota 2.
Yeah.
How long has it been since we had a Dota 2 event?
It was just at the end of the international. 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, okay. We probably need another one then.
Yeah, I'll try and slot one in at some point.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. On the 25th of August, we had a Dota 2 event.
Oh, I had to skip that one.
Yeah, I haven't actually attended a Dota 2 event. They've all kind of been happening at super early in the morning for me.
It's a pretty fun game though, but if you play against people who play it often, it's not that fun.
Yeah, I never really have gotten into that kind of style of game yet. So I'm not sure if I'll gravitate towards it or not.
Well, it's pretty simple to play, but people who play it often has a great advantage, like every other game. But it feels like the difference is bigger here, and you just can't pop in games with better people.
It also seems to have a lot of stuff that you've got to, the learning curve for it's fairly significant before you can get to a game where you can feel comfortable playing with people who've had a bit of experience.
I would say that actually watching some professional people play can give you some hints how to improve your game, and you can easily find the international replays to watch through with commentary, so you'll pick up some additional sort of tactics, and you'll learn from that. And of course, it always helps to have some friends in a game.
Yes. Yeah, I've spectated a couple of games that a few friends have played, and it seems nice. The camera feels very close. I always keep wanting to zoom out. So moving on to Steam news, or Valve news as well. The Half-Life 1 SDK has finally had a Linux release, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I once, I think it was in February, I promised Cheese to port a mod for Half-Life 1. So
I think we might have even mentioned that in our first recording of episode 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Highly likely.
Yeah, maybe we did. So yeah, I'm probably going to collaborate with Swordfisher on making that happen at some stage when we both have some free time,
Yeah.
which will be good to see.
Yep, and if you want the SDK, you should find it in the tools section of your Steam library, called Half-Life SDK.
Now, is that up on GitHub as well?
Yes, the source is, and a compiled, the whole set is actually downloadable through Steam.
Yep. Just like the source SDK as well.
Yeah, and there are some forks on GitHub that compiles under VS 2010, I think.
Nice.
Stop laughing at me.
So, Sword, I thought you'd want to read this one out.
Yeah. Well, they fixed the special weapons in Counter-Strike Condition Zero delete scenes, and I'm super excited about it because every time when I finally got the game on Steam, I played through the first 3 maps, and then I hit a game-breaking bug, which was the special weapons not working. And then they fixed this, and it's super nice. You can play through the game again. And then I hit another bug, which they haven't fixed yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And that's
What was that bug?
Well, there's a map called the Alamo, where you get into a fight in some courtyard, and when you proceed in that map and open a door, when it's supposed to load the next map, it will disconnect you from the game and put you in the menu.
Oops.
Sounds odd.
Yeah.
How far through the game is that? I mean, how much of it can you play so far?
Oh, that's originally I don't remember how many maps there were. There were 12 or 14, and then they added 6 maps which you can play without proceeding or progressing.
Okay.
But this one is one of the last maps, so you can't play the rest of the game without completing this one. So they have to fix the bug before you can complete the game.
Okay, but most of the game's playable.
Yeah, most of the game, yes.
Awesome, when I get some time, I think I'll have a look at it.
Well, it's pretty fun, especially if you like very bad AI.
I cannot stand bad AI. I've been playing BioShock Infinite recently, and it's just so disappointing.
You're going to laugh. One of the counter-terrorists on my team suddenly decided to start shooting the leader, so I couldn't progress in that map because he always killed the leader.
What the hell?
And if
was the leader just standing in the way between
Yeah.
you and the... Oh, nice.
He was just standing there, you have to move on. Get on with it. Move.
Wow.
And got shot
Pretty
all the
dark.
time, yeah.
Nice.
That was a file that's not a bug on GitHub, though. Alfred just said it was because of bad AI. So, yeah. Pretty fun, anyway.
Right, so something that's taken up a rather large chunk of our casts over the past well, all of the episodes have been Steam's Greenlight. And Valve decided that they should dispense with the usual, doing 6 or 10 titles at a time, and have gone for a whopping 100. So we went through the list and cropped out all the stuff that we've mentioned before and stuff we've forgotten to mention or hadn't got around to, and we're just going to cover them briefly now.
Yeah, that was done for Greenlight's first anniversary, if I remember correctly.
Yep, it was just around PAX time that it started, and there was a sale, I think, for 50 of the titles that they'd already approved over the last year. That obviously isn't running still, so I don't know why I bother mentioning it.
I think they this 100 100 titles thing is staying, isn't it?
It does seem like they're ramping up the. I haven't seen anything clear that they are. I mean, was that in the blog post they mentioned?
I thought I'd read it somewhere, but I can't see it now, so let's pretend I didn't mention it.
Okay.
So, as far as stuff that we've previously mentioned goes, there's Against the Wall, which is a sort of climb a wall using block extrusion type game, which we mentioned previously. Was kind of excited about. There's Legend of the Night Washer that I'm super hyper excited about. Son of Nor, which we talked about as a crowdfunding title that only just scraped through at the last second.
We also mentioned Armicrog. That was a crowdfunding title, I think, quite a few episodes back. I mentioned Rawbots. That's also got through. And Sword.
Yeah, Legends of Ethereus, and I'm really super excited about this one.
So there are a bunch of other bits and pieces in there as well. A Scapegoat has made it, and that was ported by Flibit from Activity as well.
Yeah.
And Reprisal is a sort of really retro style, populist-like game, which I've been keeping an eye on. That uses Adobe Air, though, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's a shame. There's Knit Underground, which is a platformer, and if anyone's a Reddit Linux gamer user, you'll know that the developer posted a beta up a few months ago for us to give some feedback on. Megabyte Punch, another platformer, has also been approved. Delver, a Minecraft-like sort of dungeon explorer, has been approved.
We've also got in our list here The Plan, which I know nothing about and have never heard of before.
No.
And Teslagrad as well.
Which is another platformer.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys got any favourites out of that list there? Obviously mine is Legend of the Night Washer.
Yeah, I'm going for Legend of Ethereus.
Robots, I think, for me.
Yeah, cool. Robots does look pretty neat.
Yeah.
So, moving on to more general news, more general Linux gaming stuff. What have you guys been playing lately, Swordfisher?
Yeah, well, obviously I've been playing Condition Zero Deleted Scenes. And I've been playing
How many hours have you lost?
8, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I couldn't progress, it just replayed some of the maps on harder difficulties. And I like to take advantage of the bad AI and stand where you can see their heads, but they can't see you, so you can just shoot them in the head without them moving.
Wow.
I just love it, and there's so much blood spatter. It's fantastic.
I guess it's kind of lucky the game doesn't have achievements, or you'd have maxed out already, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've also been playing Beat Hazard Ultra, which I've talked about sometimes before, about the badge thingy where you got an in-game spaceship.
Have you unlocked that?
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
Yep, you mentioned the upgrades previously. You sent me a link, didn't you, from your playtime in that game?
Did I?
You did. You were showing me a score chart, and complaining that my username was glitching the whole thing up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Unicode stuff. Yeah.
Lovely.
But that's a great game actually, because you can play your music. When you listen to music, usually it will interfere with the in-game audio. But yeah, kind of works around that problem.
Yeah, but this game uses your or your music to make the actual environment.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is
Give you seizures.
Yeah. I actually turn it up on 200%.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I listen to something, I don't know what you call it, very extreme metal.
Yeah.
So you got a high amount of beats per minute, so the screen's just flashing insanely much.
I find I get the best scores off AC/DC,
Easy. I don't think that's...
which is an Australian band
Yeah.
everybody should have heard of. They're like huge.
You might just fall asleep while playing it then. But yeah. And then I've been thinking about buying the Ada light for Raspberry Pi, which can make some Omni light for your display. I'm just gonna have a extreme seizure and die, and I'm looking forward to it.
You die doing what you love.
Yeah, exactly.
And John, what have you been playing? Oh, sorry. No, let's just pretend I said that. Swordfish should still have more to talk about. My bad.
Okay, go Sword.
Sorry.
No, I've played Jewel of the Nile with the other guys, but we mentioned that before.
Yep, I played with
Alright.
Sword, and I've forgotten everyone else we played with. Sorry, guys. For the little amount of time I had to play the last fortnight, TF2 for the previous event. I have been playing a bit of CS:GO, sadly, in Wine. I'd actually funded one of the sort of the community funding passes, and then completely forgot to actually play with it before it expired. So I madly rushed that. Iculus was mentioning on Twitter this morning that not enough people are actually playing Postal, so I loaded that up, played a mission or two, and then the control scheme for that game hasn't aged well, and it just doesn't fit me, I don't think. If either of you two have either played
Is it the first Postal or the second one?
Yes.
I haven't
Postal
played
one.
it yet.
It's interesting, I'll say. You control your character from an isometric viewpoint with WASD for moving around, and you aim with your mouse, but it's not like a mouse cursor. You aim relative to your person, so basically the mouse spins your body, and it doesn't strafe by default. So A and D are they rotate. So you have to hold Alt to strafe, and while you're strafing, you can't actually change your aim. So yeah, it's sort of like gaming with a bag over your head.
Nice.
And I mean, the reason I didn't play it when it first came out all those years ago was because of all the controversy around it. I just thought it was a terrible game. It hasn't aged well. It's still a game, but I don't know how much time I want to sink into it. I've also been playing a virus named Tom, because they had a public beta announced on Twitter. Been helping Flibbit squash some more bugs for that. And Natural Selection 2 with the guys.
Sweet. That does sound like a bit more than usual gaming time wise.
I just I fitted it in the hours when I wasn't trying to sleep a lot. And how about you, Cheese?
Yeah, I've actually had a lot more time than usual lately. I managed to get some Don't Starve time in after we talked
And you
about
wasted all your
recently
time on
my
games. Ah, typical you.
Yes. No, I had a couple of projects ease up, so I had a bit of spare time. I divided that between playing games and getting ready for the convention that we did
Yeah, okay.
just this weekend gone, which is pretty good. But yeah, I managed to play some Don't Starve. I survived my first winter, lasted to day 52 when I was killed by an off-screen Clockwork Bishop, which made me sad, but that's feeling pretty good about that. I have also been playing the alpha of Distance, which is that kind of Trackmania meets Tron car game, which is super awesome and very cool. It plays pretty well. Could maybe do with a little bit of optimization here and there, but for a first alpha, it's pretty solid. I've played a couple of multiplayer games as well, but yeah, it's nice, very nice. Anybody who's interested in it, I would suggest picking it up.
Can I ask about Don't Starve? Sorry to jump back. We talked a few episodes ago. Obviously surviving winter and everything, and I guess by day 52 you've been through winter, have you?
Yes, that was my first winter that I'd survived.
How did you find it?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Once I got a handle on, have a couple of rocks, keep one by the fire so you can swap them out with quickly as you run past and stuff, and have enough chests to keep rabbits in and things. I set up.
Nice.
I was pretty close to some stone resources, so I set up a fairly big wall. And after, I think it was like after day 40, I think I got some teeth, so I could finally make some tooth traps.
Nice.
I built some. I discovered that you can get pig skin from demolishing those little pig heads on pikes. So I was able to build some pig houses and stuff as well. So it's pretty sweet.
Oh, nice.
Actually, that was probably sad, very sad. I in my travels had befriended a number of pigs, and all of them came to horrible, untimely deaths.
Wow.
Rest in peace, Bryce. We'll miss you.
Oh, so I thought the pig spikes were surrounding a resurrection shrine.
Often, yes.
Yes. Did you die? I mean, did you activate it? Had you died already before this death?
Oh yeah. I'd actually found 2 touchstones to activate, so I died.
Oh, okay.
That was my 3rd death.
Fair enough.
I hadn't discovered that you can make a life amulet yet, so next time I play, that will be worth checking out.
Meat effigies are also pretty neat, and fairly cheap resources.
They reduce your maximum health, though.
I know, but I mean,
So it's a bit of a trade-off there.
Yeah, totally.
But no, I was dumb. I just killed a clockwork castle and was fairly low on health. He'd destroyed my armor, but I killed him. He was gone. And then out of nowhere, this bolt of energy comes and hunts me down and kills me. It's pretty sad.
A sad way to go. So what else have you been playing?
I managed to find some time to fit in some Faster Than Light as well. I managed to get to the last stand with the rock ship and lost by 2 health. I've been working on getting through with the rock ship for some time now, so it was kind of frustrating, but it's still a very enjoyable game. I have been playing a bit of Assault Android Cactus as well. I'm in the process of writing a review of that, which is a sort of bullet hell game that I've waffled on about previously. That's also now available via the Humble Store widget on their website, which will get you access to DRM free version as well as Steam Early Access. I'm not 100% sure if the DRM free version is packaged and ready to go, but you do get the Steam key there as well, so best of both worlds. We played Kentucky Route Zero for Game Club this weekend just gone. We had the developers join us and chat about stuff, which is pretty neat. Got to see some in-progress artwork for an intermediary art style that they were looking at between the final thing and what was shown in the Kickstarter pitch vid, which is kind of neat. I think over the past 3 weeks I've played through Kentucky Route Zero Act 1 4 times. And each time I kind of discover something new. It is definitely a mind-blowing game. Have either of you guys heard of it?
Nope, not really.
I've heard of it. You've mentioned it a few times to me, but I still haven't got around to looking into it.
It's this kind of point-and-click adventure and text-only adventure hybrid. It's really interesting and very atmospheric. I'm very impressed. And obviously, I've been playing some Natural Selection too as well. So lots of gaming for me there.
We also got Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs. Is it the 10th of September it launches?
Oh, that's very close.
Yeah.
Yep, it should be live by the time you listen to us talking now. If you're not familiar with Amnesia, it's a horror game. I'm not sure if you'd say survival horror. And Sword, you've played previous games for our stream, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. I know. I don't think it was a pleasure to play. But yeah, it's entertaining at least. I'm gonna see if I can find some time to play the rest of the first Amnesia finish, but I don't think. Maybe it's unlikely for me to play it finished.
Sword, it's okay to be scared.
Well, I'm not scared, just afraid.
I don't think either of you people have been playing the beta for that, but I've heard it's pretty damn scary.
Yeah, not my sort of thing. But we should, if you're keen to resume Swordfisher, we should have another SteamLUG Amnesia event to celebrate the release of the sequel.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to do it, but yeah.
How about we take turns to play it and share save games, because I can't stand survival horror, but I'll have a go playing it for a stream for a laugh.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
And you can give me instructions on what I'm doing wrong, because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, some other news that happened since the last cast. Deep Silver has officially announced that Metro Last Light is coming at the end, or towards the end of the year, for Linux, which is great news because we thought it was a fairly secure possibility, but they've actually come out and told the press that it's coming.
That's pretty cool. And I also didn't realise that Deep Silver were publishing X Rebirth, which obviously is getting a Linux version as well.
Yeah, they're becoming quite. Remember a few episodes back we were sort of measuring up the different publishers and developers releasing titles for Linux. It looks like Deep Silver is gonna try and take on Clean Entertainment for most games ported.
Yeah, it's interesting times.
Also, I've read on Gaming on Linux that Postal 2 would have some free DLC soon, which I'm kind of looking forward to because it's a pretty old game.
Do we know what's in this DLC?
I can't remember. Let me look it up.
While that happens, I, within the last fortnight, became aware of a game called Before. You might have put me onto it, John. I can't recall.
Yes, I certainly did.
It's got a kind of really interesting, kind of low poly look and feel. And I went out, and there's not a lot of information on the official website. It's kind of a early dev blog by the looks of things. So I, from what was there, I thought it sounded pretty interesting. So I reached out to the developer and said, what kind of platforms you're looking at supporting, and said that Windows, Mac, and Linux are a given. So we can look forward to seeing that when it's ready, which is pretty cool.
Yes, I absolutely love the the flat shading style. There are quite a few games coming out with it. The Witness, Rime, Before, and some early games, sort of Proteus is sort of in that style. Love, I absolutely love them. It's just so clean.
It's interesting to see the way that Witness, for example, where it looks like something that's flat shaded, but they're heavily using ambient occlusion and other sorts of effects and shaders, so it's kind of a stylized flat shading sort of thing.
They've been working mostly on the detail of the models, and then using their rendering engine to get all that sort of extra information, sort of shading and the rest. And they've recently posted an article about the work they've been doing and taking textures that have this sort of bump mapping and saying, well, how do we replicate that in sort of voxel form and the rest? Yeah,
it's not really nice to see. I kind of how we see games like say Revenge of the Titans, for example, and Sword and Sorcery, where people have been doing these kind of modern takes on a pixel art style. It kind of feels like that sort of thing a bit, which is pretty interesting to see. The industry coming back and looking at a really early part of our heritage, I guess, as far as 3D games go. And people always say that old 3D games don't age well, but here we are. We can come back with modern design sensibilities and try and work within some of these limits and create really interesting looking stuff.
Yeah, well, the DLC I mentioned about Postal 2 before hasn't been revealed what it's going to be. Nothing else is going to be free, and it's going to give every Postal 2 fan a reason to start playing the game again. So it's going to be fun. I think it should probably contain some of the requests and mods on the forums.
Now, a title we mentioned in the last episode, Gravity Ghost. Well, it's on pre-order at the moment. There's a decent discount for it, so We'll link that in the show notes.
And also, Free Gamer have popped up an article on a open source game called Bosun X, which I kind of have been a little bit taken by. That uses a kind of unshaded, untextured style as well, and it's kind of, imagine something like Cannibal, but from a sort of third person behind perspective. The idea is that you're running through a particle accelerator, and you either are or hunting for the Higgs boson. I haven't looked that deeply into the story, but the gameplay looks kind of neat.
Oh yeah. If anyone knows the time trial events in Sonic, where you go down the little chutes picking up rings, it's pretty much that. But yeah, that looks really neat as well.
And moving on to crowdfunding, 0AD currently has a crowdfunding campaign running. What do you guys think of that?
I originally tried to get this mentioned in a cast right at the start, but they weren't ready to launch it. I really like the game. I'm surprised at how much they want for what they were hoping to do with the actual campaign, because it's $160,000.
Wow.
Which seems quite a stretch to get to from where they are as a small game at the moment.
So what are the key things that they're hoping to bring to the game for that amount?
Well, yeah. Well, they wanted to add some single-player campaigns. I think one of their stretch goals at 250 million. No, not million. $250,000.
Wow.
No, they wanted to improve performance, fix up gameplay. Basically turn it from a small collection of people just working on a game to a hardened and enjoyable, fun, performant game.
Yeah, cool. I have to admit, I've never actually played it, so I can't, really talk about it much.
No. But they've got 10,000 already, which that's not bad at all. And I think I'm going to drop some money onto it at the end of this recording.
Sweet. And this is what they call a flexible funding campaign. That means that even if they don't reach their 160,000 goal, they're still going to hold on to the money that has been pledged and use that for development.
Yes, it's the best strategy for this sort of thing, and I wish them well.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Good luck.
So, have any of you two played Mega Man?
No.
No.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a platformer for consoles.
Okay, so I'm not a bad person?
No.
Okay.
But it is fairly famous and moderately influential.
Pretty damn famous. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like something that you should know what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, it gets referenced a lot. Probably too much. And there's not really much point mentioning a crowdfunding campaign that's already funded itself in a couple of days, but
Oh, it's kind of impressive.
yeah. But that's sort of like the developer of Gran Turismo say, "Hey, I'm making a car racing game. Can I have $1 million?" It would probably happen.
Is that like Tim Schafer saying, I want to make an adventure game, give me...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But that in itself is kind of interesting, that people are... these kinds of people are keen to support Linux. Although I do notice that it was Mac and Linux versions were a stretch goal for this particular project, which was one of the reasons I hadn't really paid attention.
Which is really funny because, as far as I'm aware for Unity, the only additional costs are for console ports.
Yeah, you don't pay engine licensing to support Linux. I mean, it does.
A developer on Twitter, I think it was Really Joe, the Ickle Jew developer, was saying how much the licenses were. I mean, obviously he wasn't giving figures because he can't, but he said it really surprised him.
For Unity.
So there's another game that doesn't have any crowdfunding per se, but I just wanted people to maybe chip some money in because I really want the game. Some of you might have heard me mention Secret of the Magic Crystals before, and the developers.
No, what's that?
Secret of the Magic Crystals. And the developers have said that if they sell, I think it was 40,000 copies, they will make a sequel.
How do we know how much they've sold so far?
On the 29th of August, they had sold 12,345 copies.
You need to convert more people.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago. So like 1 month ago.
Is that right?
I have to hope they have a really good Christmas deal.
Oh, they have the best deals. If listen to me, if
I can't.
if you buy 41 pieces of the first game, you will get 5 pieces of the second game, and they will name a horse in the next game after you.
So you're going to have a sparkly swordfish?
How would you like to stroke the swordfisher?
Not really, no.
You could do that.
But I'd love
Wow.
to not stroke you, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. You must give Swordfisher money, or else he will name it Swordfisher.
yeah. The second reason I want people to try buy this is because I can't myself. I don't know. It always breaks for me in Firefox, and I tried on both Windows and Linux, so I don't think that's the problem. But yeah, you should totally buy it, and it's pretty cheap also. Oh,
Have you tried contacting them about it?
yeah, I tweeted them twice, but no response yet. I'm hoping they're busy making awesome models for the next game.
So you want to be a unicorn with a prickly horn?
Yes, and you also get but you also get a T-shirt.
Nice.
My life will be complete.
Very nice. The t-shirt should have a big horn on the front to show that you're a unicorn.
I
And
think I
horny.
can manage to do that myself.
Awesome. So, the last entry, Cheese.
So the Battle World Chronos beta went live last week. I have downloaded it, but I have not had a chance to install it yet. It's looking pretty polished. This is kind of Battle Isle-esque type turn-based strategy that I'm looking forward to checking out.
Battle Isle, you mean hexagon grid based?
Yep.
Or what?
Sci-fi.
Okay.
You make your unit squads and send them out and take over enemy bases. I think it's got similar kind of resource management as well. But like I said, I
Okay.
haven't had a chance to play it myself yet. At the moment, they're only providing .debs, so I'm going to have to either pull that apart or run it through Alien or do something with that. But, I'm sure I'll be able to get it running. But yeah, anything else you guys want to mention before we sign off?
Ooh, this game does look interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I mentioned it when I think during one of our first casts, and yeah, I have been hanging out for it for a while.
Good. I'll see if I can find the link and link back to it. But no, I think we're done for this recording of episode 8. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye. Do you want to pretend to do the music again, Swordfisher?
Burp-a-derp-a-derp-a-derp-a-derp.
Do it.